Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Tackle Shop Live.
A sunny day, right there you took my breath away. Young and pretty, was it just a dream? The next day you called me up, you told me I'm your little buttercup. You came over and you fell into my arms. Well, I know what I feel. Please tell me your love is real. You make me smile when I think of you. If I get down,
what's up, Patrick Kingery? Scott Lukoff, how you doing? Jeremy Macbeth, yo, brother. Randall, how you doing, buddy? Gilbert, Michael Bradley, Conway Hayden, how's everybody doing? Yeah, man, upstate New York, Gilbert, good to see you, buddy. Mary Fishmas, yeah, Jay Sandberg, that's what I'm talking about. It's that season. I'm fired up. Johnny Kopp. What is up? Matthew Weimer. Marky, how are you? What's up, Warren? Joseph Cascarino. Robert Mills. Man, good to see everybody. Yeah. Bob Donahue, how are you, Bob? Donald Roeder, Ray Cruz, Mike Hayer, David Schottlemeyer. What's up, David? How are you doing, man? Ian Tucker's here also. What up, buddy? Good to see everybody. Jeff Reed, Danny Pouse, Ted Radnowski. Let's go, let's go. Absolutely, man. Good to see everybody. Man, I hope everybody had a great holiday, Thanksgiving. I know I did. It was a good time. I did get out fishing. It was horrible weather, but matter of fact, it was snowing where I was at. And I saw something pretty cool though, Nick. I was fishing, went trout fishing because that's where I was at. It's up in center of the state of Pennsylvania. So I ran out to one of the local trout streams that has natural brown trout, and which I'm just totally taken up by it right now. That's just what I'm really into. And it started snowing, cold as a dickens. And of course it was windy and blizzardy, going like crazy. Everybody was having a terrible time with the weather. But I snuck out, and these trout were coming up and they were eating the snowflakes, Nick. They were coming up and eating the snowflakes. Did you ever see that?
I have seen that, actually.
Yeah. It was cool as hell. So, I got in the water, and I started seeing these fish coming up and eating these snowflakes, and I'm like, man, there's fish in here. So I hooked up with one and came off, hooked up with another one and came off, and George and I are working on a new jig head, trying to get a new jig head for these things, because this jig head I'm using for this trout fishing is terrible. It's the only jig head I can find right now, but George is hard to work on something special for me.
That's a top priority.
So he comes at me every now and then with something, and we're trying to dial something in. But anyway, I did finally catch one, and but in the meantime, these turkeys, Nick, were going crazy right in front of me, and I couldn't see them. And I finally looked up in the trees, and I saw two of them up in the trees, and they started flying across the creek right next to me. And if there was one, there was 100 of them that just kept flying across the creek, 4, 5, 6 at a time, these turkeys. So you just never know what you're going to see when you're out in nature, man. It's just cool. It's just really cool to see that stuff. But anyway, I ended up catching one, and then I had to get back to go cook the turkey and help my mother-in-law with cooking and getting everything ready to go.
But not cooking one of the turkeys that you've seen, though, right?
No, I couldn't get one of those and cook it, but it would have been cool though, wouldn't it?
Really cool.
Yeah, get a turkey and bring it back, and hey, this is what we're having.
Speaking of that, Mike, for Thanksgiving, what's your favorite fixin'?
Well, I gotta say, I make a mean stuffing.
Really?
It's a sausage stuffing. And my grandmother passed it down to my mother. My mother passed it down to my sister and I and George. And I'm telling you, I just, every time I make it, you know, and I put it out, everybody's like, who made stuff? Who made the stuffing? What is this stuffing? It's just that it's a topic of conversation. So that's my favorite, you know, that of course. And then the other thing we do in the summer is we get fresh corn out of the fields, you know, and we strip it down and we freeze it. We cut it off the cob and we freeze it. So it's nice to get that out in the winter and have that fresh sweet corn, you know, that's another one of my favorite things. So, you know, we do that every year. We do 20 dozen every year, you know, in the middle of summer and cut it off.
20 dozen.
20 dozen. Yeah. Yeah. So I have corn for the whole winter, you know, and it's just nice in the middle of the winter to take this corn out. And I'm telling you, it's like the best corn you ever have, you know, right off the cob, you know, right out of the field. We're really lucky. We have this place right down the road from us that they cut it out of the field every day. So it's right out of the field. You grab it, you take it over, and you process it and freeze it, and it's like the freshest corn you're ever going to have. It's really good. So, but that stuffing really,
it's a spot.
I'm telling you, man, I look forward to that all the time. There's times where I just get the hankering for it. I make it in the middle of the summer or whenever, you know, I just make it. It's just like,
that's good.
I love it. Yeah. Yeah. Sausage stuffing. Anybody needs a recipe, give me a call. I got it. I got the ultimate.
And George, while you're here, I got to ask you a question. Have we lost Mike? Have we lost him to the dark side?
I think the whole entire, everything's just blown right off the tracks. I mean, I got a Trout Unlimited, Yule Gibbons, granola eating. I mean, Tackle Shop Live. I don't know. We should change the whole name to like, you know, the next thing I'm worried about is political affiliation. At that point, there will be a radical change on this program.
Well, let's just get down to the meat and potatoes of this because it's not, it is something different, you know. So in central Pennsylvania,
well, I didn't really want to open the door.
No, I just want to say
trout talk. In
central Pennsylvania, we are so fortunate to have some of the most phenomenal natural brown trout fishing that you're going to get. But it's catch and release, all tackle. That's what the designation of those areas are. But what it is basically a lot of fly fishermen that go to these areas and fish these areas. And the spin fishing thing is just not there. There's just not many people that do it. So when you show up and you're walking down the trail or you bump into somebody on the creek, they're usually a fly fisherman, and they look at you really weird. They really give you the snake eye, you know what I mean? And so I'm trying to get used to that part of the whole thing. And I'm inventing this with another guy. I'm inventing this spin fishing thing with all artificial lures. You know, we're using gulp minnows on a jig head. We're using, you know, stick baits. You know, we're using suspending stick baits. So we're and now we even got into crankbaits. We're using the little BFS mega bass crankbaits in there for some of these fish, and so we're calling it bass tactics for trout. You know what I mean? And so I'm messing with that, messing with the techniques, and then I'm also messing with the equipment. You know, they're trying to get the right rod, trying to get the right everything. You know, and that's why I'm on George about this jig head, because we really need a light jig head with a good hook in it. You know, to get these fish stuck, because we've been losing a lot of big ones. You know, because these hooks are crappy. You know, all this trout fishing stuff isn't made for this kind of fishing. So, but anyway, that's what it is. It's for you guys. You know, I didn't go over to the dark side. You know, I'm fishing, I'm spin fishing and applying these tactics, you know, these different tactics.
Right.
And just knocking them out, man. We're just killing them.
Lisa Lake says he gone.
He's not gone. He's not gone. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm just exploring a new avenue of fishing. Still got my bass roots deep, thick. I'm on it. And, but, you know, for me to go up to my mother-in-law's, you know, in the middle of the state, and I only got a day, you know, I only got a day. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to jump in the creek, fish for a couple hours, and then I go back and help her out with her chores and stuff. And that's my weekend. So it's working out. It's fun. It's a good thing. But anyway, I just hope everybody had a great holiday, and kind of the kickoff for Christmas season is what's going on. And, you know, we're ready for it. We are fired up. I am fired up now. Now I can go full blown Christmas. I was really irritated with people putting lights out before Thanksgiving even got here. And George is like, you know, the same way, you know, we were like all crazy about that. But now that we had the parade on Thanksgiving, that's a kickoff for Christmas. We are fired up for Christmas. We got some great Christmas ideas for everybody. And one of the things that we thought would be cool, Nick, was like a secret box, a tackle, and we're calling it the SFT Boys tackle box. And what it is it's you know, for you guys, if you want to get one for somebody, you can go on our website and you can go to our gift box idea, and you can buy it at different increments. You can buy it for largemouth or smallmouth. And what it is George and I's idea, you know, of what we have tied on. And it's going to be a secret. You're going to get a box, and it's going to be whatever we are fishing at that moment. And, you know, the hot stuff that we use for largemouth and the hot stuff we use for smallmouth, and our picks that we would be using for that stuff, you know. So you'll get a box of really high quality tackle. It's a secret. You don't know what it's going to be. Could be mega bass. It could be tubes. It could be Z-Man. It could be missile. I don't know. It could be whatever. There's Kai Tech that I got in my mind. I've got, you know, so when we get an order, we're going to go out and we're going to hand pick it for that particular box, smallmouth or largemouth. And it'd be a great gift to have underneath the tree. You can tell whoever's saying, hey, well, I don't know what to get you for Christmas. What would you think? Hey, go to sfttackle.com and order up one of these SFT Boys boxes, and it's what the TSL guys are fishing. You know, these is the baits that they're fishing. So it's going to be a cool little deal. You can go on there. You can get one at $50, $100, $150, or $200, whatever anybody wants to spend on it. And we will pull it. We will hand pick it. Either myself and I, or both of us will go out and pick and have that thing, and we'll think about it. We'll take our time and make sure that the box is filled with the hottest stuff that we're fishing right now. And I think it was a great idea. So that's on there for Christmas gifts. You know, it's always hard to buy the fisherman a gift. You know how it is. I mean, we all have everything, but when you don't know what you're going to get, that would be a really cool thing. But so we're kicking that off. That's available right now. You can go to the website and just check it out. It's just a box, and you can choose it and go with that. Do you have any comments on that at all, George?
I've already got mine picked out.
You do.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So George is getting one for himself. So
Whoever orders, I got a smallmouth box set up, and I got a largemouth box set up.
Oh, yeah.
And it's cutting edge.
So, you know, that's the idea behind it. It's going to be the cutting edge stuff, what we're fishing, what we are doing. Nick's going to be involved also. This is the stuff that the TSL guys are always talking about, and that we have tied on our rods, and that's what we're going to get in your hands. So it's a cool little gift idea for a friend, or to tell your wife to get for you, or to tell your husband to get for you, whatever. It's a cool idea. So anyway, we wanted to debut that and let you guys know first. We just just turned it on today and had the idea, and I hope you guys can take advantage of that and check somebody off your list with the SFT Boys tackle pack. Okay, well, we got a lot to go over. This is Tackle Shop Live, and we are a tackle shop, and there's one thing we love to do, and that is talk about tackle, and this is Tackle Talk. Okay, Mark, that's a little far, buddy. All right, you're really stretching it now. I have to hear it from this guy all day long. I don't need it from you, Mark. I don't need it from you. But that's a good one anyway. All right, George, what do you got, man? What's hot? What's happening in the world of tackle? And what can you tell us about it, man? What's going on?
Well, I didn't go too crazy this week. I've got some interesting products. I've got some rigging products that I really like. We're all Nico rigging, wacky rigging. We got the rig of the week. We got lots of endless rigs. And we're always looking to improve those rigs. And I've got some Gamakatsu product here that I think is pretty cool. So what we have here is the tungsten trigger nail weight. So anywhere that we want to add weight, Nico, if you want to like backslide a bait, if you want to make a fluke fall perfectly horizontal, whatever. It's endless. This is the trigger weight. Now, this is going to be, cameraman Nick's going to have to pull off some Martin Scorsese shit here to film this one. Because this is like...
It's hard. It's really hard to see
you
it.
Can't just forget it. You're not going to see it. It's impossible. So this is a tungsten nail.
Oh, look at that.
And it's got, there you go. There we go. See them? See those spikes coming out of the side? There's one on each side. They're a wire spike. And that's why they call it the trigger weight. So when you insert that into your plastic, insert that into your worm, that baby's staying in there.
It's not getting thrown when you're fighting that fish in at all.
Which is annoying.
It's a problem.
Z-Man came out with their version. BKK came out with their version like a year or so ago.
Yeah.
And it was just an amazing addition to our rigging box. Now,
greatest thing ever.
Now Gamakatsu's done it. So we have 16th, we have 8th,
332nd.
We have 332nd.
Yeah.
Now, my question for you is
a
332nd bigger or smaller than an 8th?
It's smaller, but I think you hung them up back there and you got them all.
No, I
didn't.
Up. I didn't.
You didn't?
Skeeter Steve did. And we're gonna have to discuss his
so
math.
Skeeter Steve needs to go back to math school
needs to
because
go to math.
He's got them all jacked up.
That's what triggered. The question, because I went back on the wall there and it was like.
I thought you did it. I was going to bust your ass about it, but I was like, man,
if only I could have.
Yeah, if he would have done that, if you would have done that after all these years of tackle.
Because, an 8th would be 432nds. Huh?
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
So amazing. That's pretty interesting. You have 16th, 8th, and they're tungsten, so they're smaller, right? So, on our Nico worms and our, sometimes you have a fluke. I'm a big fluke guy. Sometimes you have a fluke and you want to just put an internal weight in it just for a little extra weight.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, there's lots of weight, whatever you're going to use that weight for. The Nico's a big thing for most of it, but you can use a weight for so many things. And the problem is the freaking things fall out.
Well, the cool thing about the weight is depending on where you place it in the bait. For example, I have a fluke here. Just for graphical purposes only. So, like, when you put a hook in a fluke, you know, it's going to fall just a little bit nose first, which is fine. But if you want that thing, you know, to, and maybe the fluke's not the best example because it's, you know, got a split belly, but if you want it to like backslide for some reason, you can put the weight back here.
Mm-hmm.
Put your weight back here. And when you twitch it and give it slack, you know, it's going to fall backwards. It's going to twitch, and fall like this as it sinks. It's going to fall backwards. And so on and so forth. You can use your imagination. For example, take a Senko, for example.
Yeah.
You know, you could put a weight in the middle of the Senko with a hook, no weight, and it's going to want to fall horizontal, and it's going to kind of swim its way to the bottom because of the pressure going through the water.
Yeah.
Onward and upward.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
You know, we started doing it back in the day with finishing nails.
Yeah.
In the sluggo.
Yeah.
Remember those days?
No doubt. You could even rig that, Nick, on your Nico and just get the barbs just inside the plastic so they hold and have some of the weight sticking out so that when you're dragging on the bottom, that weight's contacting the bottom and you get a little bit more feel out of it.
A little more feel.
Especially since it's tungsten. If you would try to do that with something that doesn't have those prongs on it, they fall out. You know, you don't have that ability to really feel the bottom and get that contact feel, you know, so you really know what's going on. Plus the extra noise that's going to add dragging onto the rocks and whatnot. So very, very cool idea when it comes to the tungsten weights with the barbs. Like BKK, we're familiar with that. We went on and on and on in Tackle Shop Live about that. But now here's another option for you with the Gamakatsu. Very, very, very good bait.
Good stuff.
Product. Very good product. I'm excited about
cool
it.
Stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, BKK has it. Now we have it in Gamakatsu because, you know.
Well, it's just one of those things that you
should. A little different.
You should have it in your box. No matter what, you should have it in your box because you never know what the situation is going to occur.
I just like,
you know,
when I'm Nico rigging.
Yeah.
I like low maintenance. I like to be able to put the weight in.
Be done with it.
And not have to replace the weight every time I catch a fish. You know.
Yeah.
Guy like me.
Yeah.
Over the course of a year's time, we're talking about a lot of weight.
Could be thousands of them, George.
I mean,
could be thousands
insane.
of them.
Just insane. So along those lines, if you will, and I should have probably got a clear worm for this, but I wasn't completely planned out on this program.
Yeah.
I have a product from Hide Up Tackle. And this is a pretty cool product. This is called and Mike and I have gone back and forth. We're going to call it an AMI stopper.
Yeah, we
really don't know what it means.
We got Amy and we got AMI.
AMI.
And then we have AMI.
I think we've come to an agreement on that.
Maybe.
And, you know, by first glance, this is like a gimmicky bullshit product. But allow me to, you know, expand.
Where's that bait that you gave me? Because that thing showed it up real good.
I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
It's really good for Nico rigging a worm, like a trick worm, and nose hooking a fluke style bait. These are two situations where, you know, to Nico rig the worm, you got to use a band, right? Well, what if you don't want to use a band? So what you can do is you can take this AMI stopper. It's got a pointed end on it. Get in there tight, Nick. See that? There you go. So leave that end on there. And let's say you want your hook to go here. You just push that through. Pull it all the way through. Trim it off. It's metal, but you can cut it with scissors. Right?
It's like a mesh.
Yeah, it's like a mesh.
Yeah, gotcha. I got your back.
Snip it off. Don't cut the pointy end off.
Yeah.
And then take your hook through the worm, through the mesh. Now it's real hard to pull that hook out.
a lot more surface area there that you'd have to pull out.
You know,
through there.
you got to pull this whole thing out of there.
Yeah.
It's so you can, if you're not a band guy, a lot of people don't use O-rings or bands.
Yeah.
They just hook their hook through the worm.
That's what I do.
And, you know, go through a lot of worms. Now we're going to cut this off.
Stick that in your pocket in the morning, Nick, and you just go, you know, as you go, you just stick it in there, you know.
Or if you're a fluke guy and you're a nose hooker, which is a big thing.
Yep.
You know, you can take your fluke.
Great argument, too. Nose hooking or Texas rigging.
Again, take your pointed end. Come through here. Pull that through. Snip it off. Now, when you take your nose hook, you're going to come under the chin, through the mesh, and, you know, drop shot worm that you're nose hooking, fluke that you're nose hooking, wacky Nico rigging. Pretty cool product. You know, especially if you're like a tinkerer and a rigger, and you're all about that.
Yeah, if you're into the techie kind of stuff, this is definitely in your box.
It's just, you know, it's another option in rigging. It's another option in rigging. It gives you the, you know, maybe you don't like an O-ring, maybe you don't like a Nico ring, you know, a band, whatever. If you don't like that, maybe you're getting a little tired of losing your baits so quickly. Try it.
Yeah, blowing out the nose when you set the hook on a Texas rig or something. You can put it in there, Texas rig through it. It helps with that also, from blowing the nose out on your baits all the time. And I know flipping with a sweet beaver with a flipping hook, you know, that thing might help with that, because you know how that thing just one hook set and it tears the whole entire thing up. So maybe that'll help with that a little bit.
You know, you're just,
who knows?
And you push that through, you trim it off.
Yep.
You know, so you can get multiple rigs out of each piece.
Yeah.
And there's 5 or 6 of them in there. So if you're if you're looking for another option, if you love dialing in your rigs, check them out. AMI Stoppers by Hide Up Tackle, $6.99 for a pack of 5 strips. You can get quite a few rigs out of those. A lot
of strips. Yeah.
And especially if you're a nose rigger, you know, a fluker.
Yeah.
You don't like, you're sick and tired of going, you're going through a ton of baits on a northern trip. You know, you go up on St. Lawrence or Lake Ontario, and you're drop shotting smallies with your flatworms, and you're going through crazy amounts of them because you're catching boatloads of fish. Take a pack along and like double and triple the life of your baits.
Mm-hmm. So
cool stuff.
Yeah. Love it.
So trigger weights. Now, the trigger weights I didn't give you the price on. They're a little pricey, but there are depending on your size, your 4 or 3 to a pack, $10.49. They are tungsten. Tungsten is going up. Brace yourselves for tungsten increases that you're going to see early next year. It's coming. Okay, now, we don't talk a lot about big-time, deep-diving crankbaits, but we were impressed with a crankbait that we saw at ICAST this year from Mans, from Bill Lewis. I did that once when we had somebody on the show.
Yeah. You got a thing for Mans.
They're out of business.
Yeah, I know. It's a problem.
So Bill Lewis, the DR24. Look at that bad boy. Huh? I mean, here's the palm of my hand, and there's that bait. So this bad boy is 1 1/2 ounces, and I like it. I like what Bill Lewis is doing with the triple grips. You know, I got Primo hooks right out of the pack. Okay. I'm $11.99. So for a 24-foot diving crankbait, That is a terrific price.
That's a phenomenal price.
And what they're doing here, if you look here, this is how, now we haven't thrown this bait, but this is how it was explained to Nick and I. If you look at this diving plane and then these ledges on the side of the bait, they're using the whole entire bait and the lip as a diving plane. So we got the lip, obviously, diving, and then the whole top of the bait is a diving surface.
Kind of like flanges on the side of that thing.
They're called ledges.
Ledges, yeah.
Dives at 24 feet, weighs 1.5 ounces. So, you can throw this on your 10XD rod. You can throw it on the same rod you throw like your 8XD on, your 6XD. $11.99. Not a ton of colors, but some good colors. That's coarse chartreuse blueback. There's a citrus. There's a green gizzard.
Green gizzard must have in their box.
Clear water.
Good to see they have that.
So that is your DR, which stands for diving range. 24 foot. And if you like offshore deep cranking, it's fun. Offshore deep cranking is...
It's not dead either, by the way.
No.
It's not dead by no means, No. A lot of people aren't talking about it anymore, but it's not dead by no means. It's still a viable technique for the majority of us to fish, offshore ledges, offshore humps. That deep diving technique is still very, very, very legit. And this is a bait that really for a 24-foot diver, even though you lay it in your hand, it seems big. The body size isn't a huge body. I think it's got the proper size. It's not an overly giant body, but it's still a good hunk of body there to give you a good presentation for a very large fish.
Guys, with a crankbait that size, 24 feet diver, what size line are you using?
I'm using 12.
12 pound.
12 fluorocarbon. Yep. Yeah. When I go above the 6XD, I go to 12. So your 8XD, your DR24, your 10XD, those are over an ounce to over 2 ounce crankbaits, and a little more line is good. And I use a 711 medium heavy crankbait rod. It's probably heavy technically.
That's the thing. You do need a pretty heavy rod.
It's not. It's not heavy. It's
no. You need a heavier action.
It's rated for that weight.
Yeah, and you have to look at that, because not only is it for the pull of the bait going down that doesn't kill your rod, but they're usually bigger hooks on these things. So you need a little horsepower to get through the tip. Get through that tip and into some horsepower to sink those hooks in that fish. And you're down there pretty deep, so you got to take the stretch out line. You got to get all that done, and then get those hooks. I think they're what are they? 1.0 hooks or 2.0 hooks on there? 1.0s?
I would say, yeah. I don't know if it says on the box here.
It's a heavier hook. It's a good sharp hook, but it's a heavier hook. So you do need a little bit of horsepower.
Probably a 1.0, but
it's a quality hook. Triple grip hook.
Plus you're casting an ounce and a half. So
yeah. You can't mess
the
around.
rod I throw those big baits on is actually rated as a medium heavy, but it handles it. Like I said, mine's a Shimano, used to be called the Kamara series, and it handles a 10XD. So I like a big long rod on that because I want to get as much cast as I can to be in the strike zone for as long as I can. Deep offshore cranking to me is real exciting and fun. I mean, when that you're lined up on, the spot on the spot, when you're lined up on, a little exposed piece of ledge, old rock river ledge on a point, or you're lined up on a small brush pile or a log that's, the currents have drug in, or you're lined up on some hard spot, whatever it may be, on a ledge or a hump or a point, and you get that lineup, you know, that kind of where you're looking at the shoreline and you're picking out a target, you're looking up at this point or whatever, and you're kind of triangulated a little bit. Man, I love that. And making that cast exactly right and cranking that bait down and making contact. You know, you really have to like visualize.
A lot of visualization.
And that's what I like about it. Now, laying on the front deck next to me while I'm cranking them spots, which is, to be honest with you, in my world, it's primarily a post-spawn summer scenario. But don't overlook it on pre-spawn either. But what's laying on my front deck next to me is a Carolina rig. So my deal is most aggressive to least aggressive. You know, getting on a scenario like that. And anytime you're dealing with a group of fish, a small school, a big school, whatever, a fresh school, you know, a school that's been beat on all summer, whatever, a early fall school. Anytime you're dealing with a school of fish, there's two things that you have to your advantage. You have the competitive nature of those fish. Mm-hmm. You know, if this guy catches a shad, this guy wants it. Mm-hmm. And his buddy wants it. We see that a lot in the fall where you bring them up to the boat with you and you kind of use that to identify a school. But, you know, the way I like to think about it is most aggressive to least aggressive, right? So I like to start with crankbait.
Yeah.
Now, I know we also will start with a big spoon.
Yep.
But it depends on the fishery. It depends on, you know, that too. Mm-hmm. That, you know, there's outside influences here, but let's just say we're going to start with a crankbait, you know, and then we're going to go to a combination of a Carolina rig and a football jig. I mean, I don't know if we're like old school or what, but I don't think so. I don't think the Carolina rig is old school. I don't think it's dead. And certainly a football jig. I mean, if you're not like all bought in on that, you need to be. But the excitement of catching that fish on a crankbait, landing them, firing back out there, or if you have a fishing partner, have him fire out there and because you got to keep that school engaged. Yeah. Because what's happening is, and you really learn this when you embrace the dark side and go forward facing, all his buddies follow him. So there's a couple fish on the spot, but the rest of them are between there and your boat.
Yeah.
And, you know, that can be a little bit of a problem.
Yeah.
So you want to get your bait in there.
Right.
I unhook my fish. I want to get my bait back in there, but then they're kind of like, all right.
Yeah.
The jig is up. This is bullshit.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Billy Bob over there just come back with a 1/0 hole in his head. I'm not digging this. Oh, football jig. You know, crawfish. You know, so now you tone it down a notch.
Yeah.
You know, and if it's a shallower school, which we wouldn't be talking about a 24-foot crankbait if it's a shallower spool. But let's say you're on a same scenario, but it's 12 feet deep. I reserve the right, counselor, to put a jerkbait in there. Mm-hmm. Just saying.
Yeah.
You know, and then obviously,
well, I mean,
we're slowing down.
Yeah.
We're going the whole progression. We're doing Carolina rig, football jig, big Nico, and a drop shot.
Well, you kind of hurt my feelings because you said something about the Carolina rig being like a kind of a dead thing.
I said it wasn't.
And I think this year in 2025, we've seen a resurgence. A giant resurgence in the Carolina rig. I think only because the people started talking about it again. They were doing it the whole time, but they started to talk about it because they were seen with it. You know, they were seen doing it. The Carolina rig is it's a absolute deadly technique and super awesome fun to fish. So And that's a good 1-2 punch too. The crankbait, Carolina rig, football jig, when you just do decide to slow down, somebody throws the football jig and drags that, another guy throws a Carolina rig, and then you're showing those fish a lot of different things, and you can really pile on to the fish you caught on that crankbait.
Drop shot.
Well, I think after all this other stuff is done, then you're drop shot and
Big Nico,
and then you're Nico rigging,
Big
and,
Nico,
doing your Nico thing.
Big
Whatever.
Nico.
Yeah, but
that's fun. That's fun.
Yeah.
And so, if you've gotten away from cranking, and here's the cool thing, maybe you're not cranking deep. Maybe your body of water that you like to fish post spawn in summer doesn't have, like Mike and I fish a tournament circuit on the lower river here on a reservoir.
Hello, Christopher.
There is no fish in 24 feet of water. Not very few. They're mostly catfish. But that's okay. I like to over crank the bottom. A lot of times I like to choose a crankbait that dives 5 or 6 feet deeper than where I'm fishing. And I like to get down there and I like to raise a little havoc.
Mm-hmm.
Let them know, there's a new sheriff in town. And so, don't put your crankbaits away.
Yeah.
And don't put your deeper crankbaits away. Now, in most of the United States, now we do have Christopher on here from Queensland, Australia. It could be summer down there for all I know. But
probably, I think it is. I think it's opposite of
wherever it's cold. And we have a lot of friends in Australia, probably hundreds.
Barramundi. We caught barramundi in the United States, Christopher.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. The next real, like for a lot of the country, the next real bite is with the deep crankbaits now, but it really gets going pre-spawn. And then of course the classic post-spawn summer bite. But don't put those crankbaits away. If you like to fish deep, if you're a 10XD guy, if you're an 8XD guy, if you're fishing deeper waters, if you have that deeper post-spawn, we have some nice waters around here that are like that, where a lot of that bite in the summertime is in the 20s.
You brought up Carolina rig in Georgia, and I'm looking over there and I see this little bait over there that I think I'd love to throw on that.
Oh, let me tell
rig.
you, jumping ahead here, just good segue, Mike. I'm telling you, you're the consummate professional.
I'm telling you, man, I'm getting kudos from you. Did you feel love from him tonight? Does everybody feel a love from him tonight towards me? I think I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because we're going on vacation tomorrow.
I'll tell you what it is.
Is it because we're going on vacation tomorrow?
Me and Mike are going to Florida for a couple days. We're going to go catch a sailfish on a spinning rod and smoke a bunch of cigars and drink some beers. And guess who's paying? That guy. Because you see what happened was I left my cash at home, you see, and my credit card's expired.
I wonder why I got the invite, Nick.
Yeah.
Maybe he was really, really like, man, it's just, this is, we got to get Mike to come down.
Do me a favor. Bring lots of money with you.
Yeah. Everybody's like, George, you know anybody you could bring? I know a guy.
I know a guy.
Bring lots of them quiet folders with you. You know what a folder is, Nick? A folder is a hundo,
Yeah, well.
So bring lots of folders.
I'm a tightwad, Nick, when it comes to vacationing.
So
anyway, that's a nice bait. That'd be a great bait for Carolina.
Yeah, so it is. And what Mike's referring to is the new Rage Hog. And if you remember, for all of your astute longtime watchers, we went over the 5-inch Rage Hog when it came out. Not too long ago, maybe 5-6 weeks ago. So you have, you can detach the appendages from the body, right? So you have, this thing's all appendaged up. So basically this is the Strike King Rage version of a brush hog. And we like a brush hog.
Oh, we love a brush hog.
We love the Carolina rig, this bad boy.
Mm-hmm.
And we love to flip this bad boy. I mean, flipping a brush hog. And, if you look at the Zoom brush hog family, you got the brush hog. That's this guy. You got the mid-size brush hog. You got the baby brush hog, which is arguably the most famous of the brush hogs. That's this guy. So let me get him all ready to party. So now the purpose of Tackle Shop Live is to talk about the 4-inch version that finally got here after waiting for 6 months. Not all colors got here. We only waited 6 months. Wait a couple more months, and the other couple colors will come in. But look at that. 5-inch, 4-inch. So, what in essence we have here is a Rage baby brush hog with the Rage flanges on the tails and on the little kickers. And again, this is a primo flipping bait.
Lots of action on the tentacles, I guess.
Rage.
The Rage. But that's going to give you a lot more kick than you see in anything else.
And Carolina rigging.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're going to get a lot
flipping,
more kick.
Carolina rigging.
And flipping when it's falling down through.
And a lot of other uses. I mean, this could be modified. You could tear these arms off, cut this back, make a jig trailer out of it, whatever. We're real excited. You got the coffee scent. You got all the cool colors. Here's a new color they have called Fire Pumpkin. Look at that green pumpkin and like a reddish color. Badass. Of course, you got all the other colors: green pumpkin, blue crawl, red flake.
You have great colors, man.
List goes on and on.
Yeah,
but
Strike King plastic is fish catching stuff. It's not
good stuff.
It really is. It's fish catching stuff. You can feel really confident when you're throwing that stuff. The Rage bug, the history of the Rage bug, how that thing is just a producer. The Rage style baits just are different than your standard Zoom, that you got to have the brush hog, you got to have the sweet beaver from Reaction Innovations. And then you have the higher action, the more thump, the more everything else in Rage. So, you still need those for the subtleness of the baits. But then if you really want that thumping, carrying on, a lot of action, then you go Rage. And George and I, over the years, man, we just started putting it in our boxes, man. It's just something that we have.
Have you guys ever because I know you love the Reaction Innovation.
Yeah.
And then we all love the Rage.
Yeah.
Well. Have you guys ever taken notice when you like one over the other the most?
I kind of figure it out through experimentation.
Yeah.
A lot of times, and we'll talk about the brush hog and the Rage hog. A lot of times, because of confidence, and particularly like in the spring and the summer in a flipping situation, particularly on hardcover, this is my go-to. So I'm either going to be a baby brush hog, a mid-sized brush hog, a brush hog. Now I'm all about these Rage hogs. So there's going to be a lot of them in the boat. There always is. A whole binder full. And I love them on hardcover. I love them 3 seasons. I also love them on emerging grass. Early season, pre-spawn and spawn. I don't really punch them, but before that grass gets to that point, this is for me a high priority bait. Now, as far as how it's pretty simple. If you're not getting bit and you think it's just like keep it simple. If you're not getting bit and you think you're around fish, and you go from like this profile to like a beaver style profile and you start getting bit, that's all you got to think into it. That's plain and simple. I found that this style of bait is exceptional early season hardcover, pre-spawn, spawn. Inside grass lines where they like to spawn, clump grass where they like to spawn, openings in the grass where they like to spawn. Post spawn, same scenario. And then as that grass thickens in the summer, I find this kind of pans out a little bit, but it never goes away on hardcover. The only thing I've learned a lot, especially and this I think is a big deal, especially in the summer when the water's real hot and the fish are real shallow and the water's got some color to it, I like to go to the bigger bait. So, the 5-inch rage hog, the brush hog, that full size baby. That's how we're gonna differentiate. When that water gets real hot, I'm on hardcover. I might be flipping bulkheads, boat docks, marinas, laydowns, rock, what have you. It's dingy water, typical summer junk fishing. I size up. I size up. I want a big profile going into that scenario, and they seem to really eat that bait.
We have confidence in both, Nick. We have confidence in the straight beaver where you don't have a ton of action on it. It's more of the profile. We have confidence in the brush hog where you get a little bit more action with the curl tail on the back, but it's still kind of like you don't have all that. And then we have confidence in the rage, which gives you a lot of that. So, it's easy for us because it's the same hook. All you're doing is taking the bait off and going to something else. If you have confidence in that and you're going down and you're flipping and you're not getting bit, you're going through all the different baits, and then after you cycle through them, you might change colors and on the way and you're just changing, flipping. Ah, man, he's changing to something, flipping. I'm changing up to something different. And then all of a sudden you start to figure it out. And, so it's not a lot. It's not a lot of thinking. It's just changing, and having confidence in the subtleness to the mid, to the aggressive, and knowing that, not even knowing, just figuring it out that that's what they want. And one day they'll want this and one day they'll want that. And that's important. So we have confidence in rage. We have confidence in sweet beaver. We have confidence in Zoom. So, I think that's the way you have to look at it. Then if all else fails, you get a Senko out and throw that. Yeah. You progress through the
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a new rage hog. Getting back to that 4-inch, it's $7.99 for an 8 count. Comes in a nice clam, so your baits are going to stay. I would say in very good condition.
Are they salty baits?
Yeah.
Are they
Salt,
scented with coffee scent?
Coffee, caffeine scent,
Yeah.
coffee scent. Nice clam. Yeah, good stuff. So that's your rage hog.
They're affordable too.
Well, they're $7.99 for an 8 count. I mean, it's not what I would call inexpensive.
Not terrible.
Senko price. But I don't think when you go to the gas pump in the morning and put $75 worth of gas in your boat, and if you're running a 2-stroke, you drop a $30 a gallon oil in your boat, and you spend $50 on your truck to tow there. I don't think you're worried about the price of a pack of brush hogs or rage cross or rage.
Well, I'm just saying. I think it's a very nice price for them. $7.99.
Yeah, I mean, it's the world we live in today, right? So that's the rage hog. That's 4-inch. 5-inch has already been out. There you go. Now, I do want to give you an announcement. We are fully restocked, pretty fully, on G-Crack. We got a big ass order of G-Crack in. It's been G-Crack's the free rig, I think, is what put G-Crack on steroids. And G-Crack has become a nationwide sensation. And we've worked out a little program where about once a month for the next 4, 5, 6 months, we're going to get some heavy orders in. So G-Crack's looking good. Got some new G-Crack for you. If you like that G-Crack scent,
Love it.
you're going to love this. This is G-Crack scent in a can. Big Bass Energy. SAF formula in a can. And you know what? I've oftentimes said that I'm not like a huge like scent guy.
Yeah.
I mean, and we've talked about scents. I love scent in cold water. I love garlic scent.
Yeah.
We did all kinds of stuff with the scentless scent. What was that called? From
the net bait.
yeah. What's that called? It doesn't smell like anything.
Yeah, 0.
Whatever that's called. Mike's not helping me much there.
Yeah, I'm on
That
vacation.
scent we've had good success with.
I started my vacation.
And I've had really good success with this scent. Now I don't know. You can't measure it. There's some days you just know. I like that. Big Bass Energy. So if you're a scent guy,
Bait fuel.
yeah, bait fuel. If you're a scent guy, $18.99, you got your can. Seems to last a long time too. It doesn't take much because it's got some scent to it.
Bring a bag of feelers with you when you're using it.
Also, from
Trust me on that.
G-Crack, we are got a little bit of a resupply on the Ima Kamushi. It's a cool bait. This bait you fish weightless. It's a finesse bait. And you get a horizontal fall out of it like no other. So they kind of were ahead of the curve on dice baits. This is kind of like dice meets Senko. Texas pose, and you get a horizontal fall with a quiver like that. Very, very effective finesse bait. I'm a Kamushi. In stock.
We have a customer that's all
Some.
taken up on those, and he loves them. He's just like just crazy about them. Caught a lot of fish, lot of fish on him, pitching and around the grass, and he's cutting that little tail off and putting a nail in the end, Nick, having it fall down back in there, going back in there, Nick.
Sounds like he needs one of those trigger
Yeah.
nail weights.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, there you go.
that's exactly what I'd put in that thing. But he's been whacking fish on them, and he was real happy to see them come back in the shop.
Well, he ain't the only guy.
Oh, I
mean, those things are crazy hot.
they are. I'm just saying about one guy.
And I don't think we'll ever have a full color run of them in until like August.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while.
But badass. Anyways, guys, that's my rundown. That's my tackle shop, tackle talk rundown.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Got some other stuff for you, but we have some winners to announce here. We're going to take a little break from all this heavy duty tackle talk and technique talk and fishing talk. We got some winners. We got winners. We got the rig of the week winner.
Yeah, absolutely. Do we want to jump into rig of the week?
We can do the winners since that's what we just got done announcing.
Yeah, but you want I usually do that as we enter into.
Well, I have
rig of the
another
week.
winner for you.
Oh, do that one first.
So last week we had the Black Friday sale here. And we were doing a special on 13 fishing rods.
Ah, yes.
If you bought one, you got X number of tickets into the drawing. If you bought 2, you got, some exponential larger number. If you bought 3, you got some exponential. Anyways, we're giving away a 13 fishing.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the model's called. It's a Oath 610 medium light spinning finesse rod.
Nice.
And we're
Those
going
rods
to do
are
it.
exceptional.
We're going to do that again at Bass Fest. We're going to do that again at Smallmouth Saturday. We're going to do that again at Cabin Fever Sale. So we have gotten some winners, some potential winners in our drawing. And we're going to pull the winner for the Oath 13 fishing. Stir these up a little bit here. Not looking. I mean, I was looking, but now I'm not looking. I wasn't really reading. I was just looking.
You want me to pull it? Make it more fair.
No.
Yeah.
David. It could be Delabra, DeCabra,
Delabar, yeah.
whatever. You could have wrote a little nicer, but I can read your phone number and we will call you. You are the winner of a 610 medium light 13 oath.
Nice.
If I couldn't read your phone number, you'd be in big trouble because we'd go right back in there again. But you won, brother. We'll call you. We'll get your rod to you. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, boy.
Yeah. Well, there you go. We have winners all the time on Tackle Shop Live. But we do rig of the week every week, and our sponsor, Nomad Designs, allows us the opportunity to give a free $25 gift card away to a special winner. And all you have to do is, Nick, you might want to get involved here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So what do we got to do if you want to win the $25 gift card?
It's real simple. You just like and share this post.
Yep.
And then you comment down below by putting at Nomad Design. So you're going to tag Nomad Design in the comments.
At Nomad Designs.
Yep. So when you put the at sign, at symbol,
Yeah.
and you type in Nomad and then probably Nomad Design, you'll see it pop up. You just click on their name. That tags them in there. That lets them know that we're sharing their stuff. So it's, again, like and share this post and then tag Nomad Design in the comments.
Yeah.
And you're in.
Absolutely. Nomad Designs is known for what we really love is the Wee Bit jig designed by Greg DePalma. Phenomenal finesse jig. I mean, just well thought out. If you're looking for a finesse jig with a power edge to it, but yet, still finessey and don't have to do much to the jig, and you want a fish catch and jig in that more smaller profile, the Nomad Wee Bit is the jig for you. And it is Greg DePalma did a great, phenomenal job on it. And everybody who's been throwing them around this whole year have been commenting and telling us how much they like it. And we're moving a lot of those jigs. They also have the great lineup of hard baits, from rattle traps, a whole series of rattle traps to crankbaits to top waters. They have all that. And then they also have the Nomad Designs plastics.
Live ops.
What's that? The Live Ops plastics, which is, a whole system for, jig minnow style fishing. You got to check that out. They have balancing weight stuff, really cool stuff. So anyway, thank you to Nomad Designs for sponsoring the gift card, and the gift card for the last show that we did. And for Rig of the Week on the last show, the winner for that is Jim Orwig. Jim Orwig is the winner of the $25 gift card for last week. Congratulations, Jim. We'll get a hold of you somehow. We'll get it to you. And a way to go, buddy. You are the winner of the $25 gift card to sfttackle.com or Susquehanna Fishing Tackle in the shop here. All right. What is the Rig of the Week, George?
I mean, by definition, or would you like to know what this week's Rig of the Week is? That was funny. I couldn't pass that up.
Yeah.
Call that low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you. It ain't easy coming up with a Rig of the Week every week. So far I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 rigs of the week.
Has there been that many already?
Well, there's been 13.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I write them down, you say.
That's crazy. Did you write this one down, Jim Orwick?
No. I don't write the people's names down. I write down the rig. What the rig was.
Oh, okay.
So there you go.
Oh.
Anyways,
I
have a cool one for you this week. And this is not like, like a Carolina rig or a drop shot rig or, any of that. This is something that very, very few people do. And the ones that do not talk about it. Unless their buddy happens to catch them doing it in the boat. Okay. It was brought home to me one day, many years ago, by our long lost departed buddy, Mikey Poole. And Mikey Poole and I were fishing on a fall day for some smallies.
Yeah.
We had the perfect scenario. We had warm with a big cold front coming with wind and rain and a rising river. I mean, we just had everything lined up. So we rigged up and we launched a boat and we went out and he began to just straight kick my ass on fluke. And this is a while ago, so I wasn't totally boned up on every possible way to fish a fluke. And, finally, he had caught a real big one, and I had to help him land it. And I lipped the fish, and I looked up, and I saw a blade on the hook, right like that. So as he was twitching his fluke, he was getting that flash. And there's companies that have done this. They've put blades on the back but this is on the hook. Okay. And since that day, I've been trying to dial it in and perfect it. And
he was kicking your ass that
bad.
That day.
Well, I mean, I've had this situation already where it was a game changer.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of times it's probably not.
Right.
But there's times when it is.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And when it is, this is something you want to do and maybe not overemphasize. So what I like, because I'm a stickler for details, is I like a ball bearing swivel. Okay. It's just how I roll. It's what I like. And I like to multi-purpose what I have in my boat, right? Because I have all kinds of rigging stuff and boxes for this and boxes for that. So for the blades, what I used to buy a blade, buy a swivel, buy the split rings, put that all together. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking these pre-made, and this happens to be the X-Zone blade that is for screwing into the back of a Senko, right? And I just simply take that screw off, keep it, I'll have them in a bag. And then there's multiple ways to keep you need to think about a spinnerbait trailer hook. Okay. You need a keeper to keep this blade from coming off your hook when you're fighting a fish. Now, are you going to lose it? Very, very rarely. You could probably get away with any of this. But what I like about it is I can position it, right? So what I use is a silicone stopper from Gamakatsu. And I like their double XL size. I use this for spinnerbait trailer hooks. I use it for a lot of things. And I use 2 of them to sandwich that. Now, this is the way I like to rig it. You can modify it however you see fit. And long story short, those days where maybe you're getting short strikes, that's when I usually go to it. Maybe you're missing a lot of fish. It's just not right. Something's not right. And, it's got to be a moving bait. It's got to be up. It's hard to beat a fluke. It's hard to beat a fluke in a lot of situations, especially on them pesky gizzard shad bodies of water in the summer. That right there.
Nice thing about that too is if you can pre-rig that ahead of time, have that rigged up, you can, have that set in your boat so that when the time comes and you're out there hot and heavy in the moment, all you have to do is cut off and retie onto that bait, and then you're ready to go to try it. So it's a good thing to rig up ahead of time so you don't have to do it out in the water.
So this is I think a 3.5 blade. Might be a 3. I don't know if they say it on here. Before this came along, I used to make my own, and I would do a 3 or a 3.5. Nothing bigger. You want it small and accent. Now this is the 6-inch fluke. You can do it on any fluke. I normally fish a standard fluke, 5-inch, but I like the 6-inch fluke too, so I have it on the 6-inch fluke. And I call it the bladed fluke rig. I mean, on your comments here, if you could, we'd love to hear from you. If you could jump on, this one's not like drop shot rig, Carolina rig. This is a weird one. This is a bladed fluke rig. And it's something I'm a true believer in. Old Mikey Poole gave me a whooping a long time ago. And, I learned. So check it out. The bladed fluke rig. It's, as far as like the rig of the week, this is one of the more impactful rigs of the week that if you're not like doing it, you're going to be like, yeah, that was a really good tip.
George, I really like the silicone stopper ideas that you got on there. That's nice.
So when Gamakatsu came out with those silicone stoppers, the original concept was, now check this out, sidebar, if I may. Forget all the blade. Put one of these on your bait, slide it up underneath the nose of your bait like that. And it is a deterrent, especially after you caught a fish or two and this thing's kind of wonky. It's a deterrent and you get another fish or two out of it, right? Or spinnerbait trailer hook. And, you want it straight. Put 2 of them around that spinnerbait trailer hook and slide it where you want it. I love it on this blade. I'm like one of them gadget gear guys. That's why we're stocking that, because I saw it. I said, oh, I like that. I like, silicone stoppers. I like little tail spinners, which we used to make our own back in the day. Right? When Cliff Crochet almost won the classic with a little tail blade on his Senko. Of course, we had to get all about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Poolsy whooped my ass up with this, I had to get all about that. Now I did, so that the record can reflect, because I'm like that. I did get even later that day. And I have a picture on my phone as we were cleaning the boat up at the end of the day. We had an epic, amazing, like when you tell people the story of the day Mike Poole and I had, they don't believe you. And you know what? Me and Mike Poole could care less if they believe us. But at the end of the day, we had a turnabout situation that involved casting distance. He didn't have it. And you had to cast really, really far. The boat was power poled down in like 8 inches of water. And these giant fish were schooling. And, oh, man, it was my turn. So, but Mike was kind enough to net a bunch of them for me. And at the end of the day, we were back in the parking lot. And it stopped raining. It was right before dark. It stopped raining, and it got nice. And we had like 30 minutes before dark. We were cleaning the boat up because we pretty well trashed it. And I was on the parking lot putting the tie downs on and whatnot. And he was in the boat cleaning up and, getting the boat ready to travel. And he picked the net up and he's standing on the front deck like this. And I'm like, hold that pose. And I got my phone out. I took a picture of him. I said, that's the way I want to remember this day. You net my fish. And he's, of course, we burst out laughing and he gave me hell. And I still have that picture
Yeah,
today.
we broke that out many a time.
We tell that story quite a bit.
Yeah, we broke that out when we were sitting around after a day of fishing, and there's 4 or 5 guys around. George will get the old net picture out of Poolsy.
Good times.
Yeah, Sam. Yes, we fish at traditional jerk paws, or however you'd like to fish it, fast jerking, slow jerking, whatever the day prefers. I don't think it's a straight reel type of thing. I think it's more of just a traditional fluke.
I don't do straight
style.
reel.
Yeah, it's a traditional fluke style. Now, what I would tell you is this is a good bait to good way to twitch it, get it down on the bottom, let it lay there a little bit, and then kind of twitch it off the bottom and get that flash going. That's a great technique too. So,
well, even on the fall, you get a ton of bites when you're fishing a fluke. Okay, here's a little bit of juice. When you first start fishing a fluke, you need to vary your retrieve. So, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to bomb that fluke out there. I'm going to twitch, pause. And on the pause, that bait's going to do this. Right? Now, if I get a bite, and a lot of times it's a jig bite. Now, what I mean by jig bite, tunk, and the line jumps. If I get that bite, it's over. Because now I know those fish are going to kill that thing on the fall. Okay? In that situation, this blade probably don't mean a hill of beans. Because when they're killing it, that tunk, what you're feeling is that freaking rig hitting them in the roof of the mouth when they suck it in. That's not them biting it.
that's right.
That's tunk.
They don't have hands, George.
Nope. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, either increase or decrease the speed, but I'm not going to change that cadence. So if you're getting bit on the fall, then you need to really recognize that, and you need to immediately increase the time that you allow that bait to sink. In other words, increase the sequence of your twitch, and kind of dead stick it. And it has to be on slack. Twitch. There has to be all slack. You can't move your rod. Your rod has to stay dead straight in front of you. So keep that in mind. If you're missing a lot of fish, if you're changing colors, if something's not right, put the blade on. If they start eating it, you got your answer.
Yep.
So that's an exciting rig.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, we're glad to bring that to you tonight.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, that's a great one.
That's a good one. Yeah.
So get yourself signed in there. Make sure you put at Nomad Designs Freshwater on there, so that you can get registered to win the $25 gift card that Jim Orwig won tonight. And he's going to spend that. Trust me, he's going to spend that wildly. Wildly.
And if you look at the comments right now, and you'll see that I commented with Nomad Design.
You didn't put the @ sign.
Yeah, I did.
You did.
So when you put the @ sign and you put Nomad Design, it's going to pop up. You click on Nomad Design. And it'll come up that way.
Yeah. So everybody's doing it wrong.
Not everybody. No.
There's a lot of people doing it wrong.
There's a lot of individuals. So you want
Sam just put up there at Nomad Design, and it has the @ symbol.
Yep. They want to be a little just
search a little more.
Look at mine. Look at the Nicholas Wink one there. That's what you want yours to look like, because you tagged it.
Yeah.
You
tag it.
You tag them.
You tag it. And the only reason we're saying this, guys, is it benefits all of us. It benefits you guys, because they'll see that we're, that this is working, and then they're like, oh man, look at all the return we got on this, and they'll keep doing it. So we'll keep you, and it's good for George and I, because we'll keep you able to give you a $25 gift card. And so that's why we make a big stink about it. We want you guys to win, number one, by doing it right. And number two, we want Nomad to know that we have the greatest customers in the country, and they care about everything that we do.
And the only ones that will win or have the eligibility to win this drawing
Is doing it
if
correct.
you actually tag them in there.
Yeah, you got to tag them.
You got to tag them.
You got to tag them, folks.
You've all been tagged in a post already.
Yeah.
Everybody that's watching has been tagged in a post.
You know what tagging means?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what
Mike
it means.
doesn't know
I
what it
honestly don't know what it means. George surely doesn't know what
Look,
it means.
Joe Hepp just did it absolutely 100%.
Joe Hepp.
correct. There you go, Joe.
Joe, you're in the running for this $25 gift card. So there you go.
Trent, try again, Trent.
Try again, Trent.
All right. Enough of that rig of the week tutorial. I say if you can't figure it out, then you don't win. Get on with it.
So George,
It's not that hard.
Rig of the Week has become a staple here, and it's really
Yeah.
cool. It's really
Yeah.
fun. Along the way of your fishing career, and Mike, same thing with you.
Yeah.
What's a rig that you just had to learn, but man, you just couldn't make it work for you?
That's a good one, Nick.
Well, that is a good question.
That is a real good question.
Not so sure I want to answer it.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna. I mean, I have one in my mind right now, but I don't even want to talk about it because I'm really frustrated with it.
Are you scarred?
I'm scarred for. Yeah, I am about these rigs, man. These rigs drive me nuts. This free rigging thing.
Which is the easiest rig in the world to fish.
Yeah, but I mean, guys have
You can't get any easier.
crazy success with the free rig, and I mean, honestly, I don't get it.
Hey, I'll embarrass myself quick. I'll
Yeah.
tell you the one that I had to learn. And for the longest time, I'm like, this is the most useless rig I've ever heard of or seen. But now I love it. It was a Carolina rig.
Really?
For the longest time, it was a complete waste for me.
Oh,
I
man.
could not catch anything. It did not work. And all of a sudden, I'm like, go back to the drawing board.
I drank the Kool-Aid
love
on
it
that
now.
from day
I
one.
love it now.
I drank the Kool-Aid on that from day one. But this free rig thing, I just,
This ain't happening.
and Skeeter Steve comes in, man, I whacked them on the free rig this weekend, man. I caught 6 or 7 and 3
Well,
pounders.
the primary problem with a lot of these rigs for me and Mike, and I'm sure I'm speaking for other people, but for me and Mike, the primary problem for a lot of these rigs, we're like major power fishermen. So for us to, finesse fish, that takes an act of Congress right there. And then on top of that, you're going to go with your tried and true, you're going to go with your wacky rig and you're going to go with your drop shot. And we've adopted nicely to the a Nico rig.
Good job, Tanner.
But, to continue down that finesse path, you got to want to do it for multiple reasons. And one is learning, and it's fun to fish these techniques and learn. The problem is if you're a power fisherman and you just want to keep winding, it's really hard to mentally slow down and say, you know what? I'm going to give whatever rig the next hour of my time, which, a good fisherman and a open-minded fisherman and a fisherman that wants to learn readily is going to do. Sometimes you get a little long in the tooth and you start getting a little stubborn. So I think that's where Mike and I, we fish all these rigs, but we're very reluctant to go to the finesse side of life, right? Although once you get bit, you're all bought in. It's like slowing down and then getting bit. Once that happens, let's go. So yeah, that's every year we try to talk about picking a technique that you're weak in and apply it to your new year.
You still got to do that yet this year.
And for me, the technique that I'm going to pick for 26 is going to be
Save it.
No, I'm going to say it.
Why?
Because I want to.
Oh.
You're
going to ruin it.
The technique that I'm going to pick for 26 is the mental capacity to take a minute, and focus on something new. That's my technique.
Well,
it's up here.
I want to give you guys a challenge too. We got a couple weeks to think about this.
Yeah.
We know each other pretty well. We know each other's weaknesses and strengths.
Yeah.
I think for 2026, we should pick each other's
that'd be
what
cool.
we have to focus on.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
We got to challenge each
Yeah.
other.
Now, don't pick some kind of stupid thing
No.
like crazy. But you know what I'm saying? Like chicken rig or something stupid like that.
No, but like we know each
No,
other.
Why is that stupid?
I just hate. I just
You don't like the Nico rig?
Huh? I like Nico rig.
Chicken rig's a weedless Nico rig.
I just don't like the name. Now listen, I cannot like the
my
name.
God.
Yeah. Now Nick, that would be like I would pick something for you that would make you a better fisherman.
Well, that's the whole
You
goal.
see. So don't go crazy. Don't go crazy here.
Gentlemen, here's how this is going to go down. I don't know how the calendar shakes out on our shows. Let's see. The 18th is a Thursday.
It's coming up.
The 25th is a Thursday.
We're not going to be here for that.
Well, Santa, you lost.
We can't do 24th, the Wednesday before, so we're gonna have to miss that one.
So the 18th.
Oh, and
On the 18th,
and who's going to be here for
we have a
that?
special guest coming on the 18th.
Yeah.
We have a lot of guests in queue, and our schedules have been so bizarre. We have Mike McClelland in queue. We have a special guest coming on the 18th. We have Greg Palma. So Greg is going to be here for our annual Christmas meeting.
Oh, so we get to pick his?
No.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be great.
No, it's a Tackle Shop Live, guys.
Oh, I would love to pick.
But the way I want to do this, if I could get to the finish line here, if I could just cross the finish line. The way I want to do this is draft style. So we have seedings and then draft picks. First pick of the draft, second pick of the draft, third pick of the draft, however that may come out. We might use ping pong balls and go NBA. I don't know. But we will have that together. So on the 18th, we're going to pick each other's technique to learn and perfect in 20. And what this means is this is big because you have to try to employ that technique on every single fishing trip that you take. Now, I
don't know if that's
I'm not done yet. I'm going to rule out tournaments because when you get dialed in for tournament day, I'm not. If it's not that technique, it ain't happening. I can't waste that cast
right now. Ain't happening.
George, I think Mike's really reluctant to open up.
I don't like it.
Into it.
I don't like it.
I don't understand.
I don't like the whole idea. I'm going to go with it, but I don't like it because I know
understand.
I know you guys are going to gang up on me and give me some kind of weird.
Mike drafted the chicken rig.
No, Nick.
I just don't understand.
I won't do it.
Anyways, let's get back on point here. So we have actually my koozie's empty, but I wanted to show you my koozie full. But we have new koozies at the shop here. Okay, we have a new clock. We have new koozies. One of our beloved employees here is Brian Weimer, aka the Stallion. The Stallion is primarily a Saturday guy, and he's the guy you can come to and you can ask. I mean, anything from fishing a TRD to live rigging a fall fish for giant, muskies or whatever. He knows it all. Well, we broke our clock, so we want you guys to come down if you can. We had to get a new clock made, and, for a couple of months, the Stallion was kind of getting on me about breaking this clock, and he was like, "Hey, what time is it?" I get it. So I had a clock made, and that clock has the Stallion's likeness on it. Okay. So watch what you say.
Yeah. You don't want to piss George off because
He didn't piss me off, but it was like,
this is what happened.
I took about 6 weeks of abuse. I broke the clock. It was an heirloom piece. I figured while I was there, why not get some koozies? So, Stallion, here's to you, bro. You're our beer sponsor tonight. All right, guys. Let's jump back in this show here. Let's reel it in. Let's get back on track. We've had our
Tanner
fun.
saw it.
We've had our fun. And, I want to talk to you guys a little bit. I told you pre-show, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about fishing the blade bait. Now, I know how you all feel about the blade bait. Just so you know how I feel about metal. I'm a blade bait guy. I like to carry a lot of blade baits. And guess what? For another day. Something you don't see very often. The jig and spoon. Okay? I still do that. But I'm a blade bait guy. I know you guys are too. Silver Buddy. Onwards and upwards. So I posed to you guys. Here's one of my favorites, the Demiki Vault. That's a quarter ounce.
The sweetheart of a little bait.
Oh.
Nick. See that thing?
They eat that sucker.
Look how small that is, Nick.
Half ounce. Whoops.
I don't know, Nick. This is becoming one of the better jigging spoons, out there, and I got some ideas behind why, but it is really catching a lot of fish. Guys are really smashing them on it.
So my deal is rules of the road. Okay.
I think it's the eye, Nick. Honestly.
Rules of the road, like how, what, when, where on blades. So first of all, it's primarily relegated to colder water, but I got news for you. And this is outside the box. When you're on those pesky gizzard shad bodies of water, in those pesky summer months when fishing sucks, and it doesn't always work, as evidenced by Mike and I's tournament performance this summer, where we cashed one check. But when it does work, it's killer. And that is fishing the blade bait like a crankbait. Blasting that sucker out there and winding it back. Now, obviously, with forward facing, you're scanning around, you're seeing balls of bait. On those tough days, take a Silver Buddy or a Demiki Vault or a whatever your favorite brand is. I mean, Steel Shad, Mega Bass, Dynablade, whatever, Jackal. I mean, there's a whole wall of them in here. And bust that thing out there and reel it back like crankbait. You'll be amazed. Not always, but when it's amazing, it's amazing. So that's lesson number one. Lesson number two is, we all kind of relegate the blade bait to cold water.
Yeah. That's honestly what
fall, winter, and spring.
Yeah.
Late fall.
I would say that the other option, which you just talked about, is just something to, worst case scenario type of thing. But the blade bait, for most of us guys, we look at it as a cold water bait, and the effectiveness at it as a cold water bait and what it does and how it works and the fish that it does catch.
Silver Buddy, pimped out with a feather treble. Don't sleep on that. Now, I love Silver Buddy. I hate their hooks. They are sharp, but I can't stand them. So I do modify my Silver Buddies, split rings, and quality trebles. Now, I will say this, guys. The number one complaint on the blade bait is getting snagged.
Terrible.
Getting snagged on wood, getting snagged around rock, and I would even venture a guess as to say a lot of people who do not fish a blade bait do not fish a blade bait because they get snagged. Right? It's like
It's me, Nick.
back in the day,
I'll be honest.
I remember guiding a lot in the spring and dragging tubes for smallmouth. And clients would get so frustrated that they would modify their retrieve to not get snagged, which also modified their retrieve to not catch fish. You know, so the biggest thing to do here now, depending on your environment, if you're at a place like Lake Erie, you're never going to get snagged. And if you do get snagged, it's rare. The St. Lawrence Seaway. Now, make no mistake about it. When you're on Lake Erie, Lake Ontario, the St. Lawrence, the Northern Swing, do not go up there without blade baits. I don't care if it's frickin' July. The blade bait and deep water smallies go together like
Peas and carrots.
I was going to say ham and cheese. But peas and carrots is good.
Miller and Light.
Tastes great. So other environments, like, you know, we fish them a lot in tidal water. We fish them a lot on our beloved Susquehanna River. Those places are known as blade bait eaters.
Yeah.
So a couple of rules of thumb on blade bait fishing in the snaggy environment so that you don't give up. First of all, my blade bait box is a little bit distraught right now. But the first thing you want to do, would you grab those side cutters for me over there? The first thing you want to do, and let's just say that this one was all rigged up the way I like it. So I'm going to hang that blade bait. Now, this doesn't even have a snap on it yet. This is brand new, never been fished. I'm going to hang that blade bait. I'm going to come up front here. This is my forward-facing hook point. See what I'm saying? How that one's more forward than this one. I'm going to come in with my side cutter. I'm going to grab it right there. My side cutter is in big trouble, by the way.
Oh.
I'm going to cut that off. That little tiny modification right there will save you infinite amounts of snags and will also not prevent you from catching fish. So the forward-facing point on the front treble, cut it off. Big game changer. Big game changer. And that will maybe get you a little more comfortable fishing a blade. That's assuming you're not in a place that's like snag-free, you know, like smooth bottoms and whatnot. There's areas that we fish that are, you just don't get snagged. I don't do that.
So that helps with the bait, George, but there's a lot more to it. What is the thing? How do you do it? I've seen him fish a blade bait in the snaggiest water, and he fished one all day long.
So first you get a nice snap.
It's the craziest thing in the world.
Do a lock snap. Put that on there. You always tie to a snap. And I'm just going to tell you, for my money, a blade bait is a finesse bait.
It is. If you think of it that way, I definitely think you're right on that.
If you fish a blade bait correctly, it's like you're fishing a finesse bait. And here's what I mean by that. And I like to fish a blade bait on a spinning rod. So it's even more like finesse. I like to fish 15.
Now, say that again.
I like to fish a blade bait on a spinning rod. It's even more finesse.
That is a huge statement right there, because most of the guys that I know who fish them on bait casting rods.
Yeah, I most of the guys that I know that have fished with me have switched over to spinning rods.
So is that just for those real snaggy areas that we're talking about, or would you fish a spinning rod down in the tidal water in a marina?
I do.
Around 6-pounders.
I do. I fish a 7-foot medium powered spinning rod with 15-pound braid, and then I adjust my leader according to where I'm at. If I'm on a smallmouth type body of water, I go to 8, especially in the winter. Now I'm talking winter. It's winter.
Yeah, winter.
Talking winter. It's winter. I'm talking winter.
Yeah.
I go to 8. I get in those largemouth areas where we do catch 6-pounders on them. I go 10. I never go above 10.
So, because I'm the worst blade fisherman in the world.
Agreed.
Okay. So, and I don't take that. I don't take that as an insult. I just know I'm not.
It was meant as one.
So the problem that I have, and this could resonate with a lot of people. The problem I have is when I'm fishing on a spinning rod and I pick it up and I set it down and I go to pick it up again, the bite and the snag are so close to, at least in my mind, when I do catch a fish on it, it's just all of a sudden you pick up and there's weight on there and you just keep going with it. But also a snag, as soon as you go like this, you're done. You're absolutely done. You're snagged. You're done. It's over. But how do you know the difference between those two? Is there something that tells you that? Or
there's a couple things you got to keep in mind. And I find that if you master the blade, you're going to become a better finesse fisherman in general, because it's kind of like frog fishing and topwater fishing. When they eat that frog, you pause.
Yeah.
Or else you're going to miss almost every fish that blows up on your frog.
Right.
When they eat that super spook, you pause. They got a whole mouthful of hard plastic and metal, right? A lot of times they're not dropping that, not because they can't. They're trying to blow it out and the hooks are sticking them. Maybe that's the case. A lot of times they're clamped down and they're swimming off. The blade bait's the same way. A lot of times you'll pick it up and you're just going to feel like a wet leaf. In that instant, you can either become snagged or catch a 5-pounder or a 12-incher. A lot of times you'll just pick it up for one split second and you'll feel a head wag. Then the reason I like the spinning rod is I'm usually out of position for the hook set, so I can gather up that line and just sweep it. It's just everything's exposed. These are small wired hooks. They're very, very sharp. I don't normally fish this hook that comes on it, but sometimes, they're sharp as it can be. Sometimes if I get lazy, I'll fish it out of the pack.
But you put split rings on those things.
Yeah, I usually cut these hooks off, put split rings on. I had a whole bunch of them in here rigged up. And what happened was somebody else took my box. And here we go.
I don't know about that. I'll tell you that much right now.
So I don't even know what brand this is, but you'll see it's not much to look at. But you'll see simple split rings and a treble hook.
So what I noticed with George's fishing,
and you don't lose as many fish like that.
Yeah, exactly. And I noticed when George is fishing, and he goes to pick up, and he starts to pick up, and then he picks up like this and gets the vibration, and he follows it down, and then he kind of holds it there, and then he reels down again, and he picks up a little bit, and then he goes. So it's like a pause from the first little pickup to the actual jig part of blade bait fishing.
They're not going to drop it.
And the thing about it is when I noticed is the colder the water, the less you have to, you don't have to.
No, you don't want to rip it.
You just get that, and then I watch them. I watch them like an eagle watching a trout on a natural brown trout stream.
Here we freaking
sitting in a tree. I watch it. I watch George just exactly like that, and I try to replicate it. But it's the reason he's so good at it is because it's that first 2 inches of pickup. He can tell a fish or a rock.
Well, you have a
better than I can, better than most of us can.
You have a second there. They're not going to drop it.
Yeah.
You pick that rod up, you feel resistance. You just give it 1 second, and you'll feel. Now, if you are snagged,
yeah, exactly.
If you are snagged,
exactly. Here's the deal.
Calm down.
Yeah.
Okay, calm down. Because if you're in my boat and you don't calm down and you start ripping and jerking
You're
on
done.
it, get yourself another blade bait out because I ain't going in there.
You're done.
So
you are done.
Come up. Boomerang trick. Arm load of line, rod, load it, snap it, and pop it. Almost every time that bait will pop out of there.
It does. I'm telling you.
But if you jerk up on it
and lock it, now you're locking.
Almost never will that bait come out of there.
Exactly.
If you snap it 3 or 4 times and it doesn't come out, calm down. Troll your boat over top of it. And what you want to do is you want to just shake your rod tip and picture this blade bait doing this. Flopping back and forth on the bottom. And it just pops itself out.
Many times, when we actually had to go in for it, that doesn't happen very often with him. I'm not kidding you. He fished an entire day with one blade bait on a spot.
Most people do.
No, most people don't.
Most people do. And once they've once they've given it the discipline to learn it.
Okay, so those people who do the discipline, most people do, but that is a very small portion of people because we're too antsy, we're too rammy. We're too rammy. As soon as you, and I know this because I know how to, with a tube, and I know how with I do a Kitech like that. I can roll a Kitech on the bottom, and have this thing catch fish that is just crazy. But as soon as, I know the feel, and I'm trying to learn that feel with the blade bait. It's just that feel. So I guess I'm going into this really big time and kind of stretching this all out because this is what you got to do to become a really good blade bait guy. Yes, there's easier place to fish a blade bait. Yes, there's easier, rock as opposed to sand, as opposed to, boulders, St. Lawrence, where you got a lot more gravel bars and a lot more sand bars and stuff like that, sandy bottoms. Yeah, that's different. But when you're in these snaggy spots and that feel, that little twist, that little 2 inches on the bottom is where you really got to figure if is it a fish or not. Because as soon as you go like this, you're done. You might as well break it off and go home.
So the important part is when you cast that bait out, you're going to follow it to the bottom, semi-slack line, and watch your line. Watch that line sinking. Follow it down. Don't tight line it. Be semi-tight, semi-loose. Follow it down. Follow it down. A lot of times you'll either feel it or you'll see it. Sweep. You don't have to set the hook like it's a shaky head worm.
Yeah, good components on there.
Just sweep the rod and reel like hell. Now, if it hits the bottom, then
what's up, Raph Outdoors?
Get your rod here and just pick it up. You don't want to rip it. You just want to pick it up, and you just want that. You can really distinctly feel that bait doing this. Not a rip, not like real lazy, but in between. Follow it back down. Follow it back down. So you're right here. You're like nine-ish to like 11-ish right here. And that spinning rod really helps. Okay. That spinning rod really helps. You know, I fish mostly reels that pick up like, you know, that high 30-inch per crank. So I could gobble up some line real quick and just kind of swing back up in there.
What about color, George?
Well, color is probably the least important factor, but some days it's the most important factor. The biggest sack of fish I ever saw caught on a blade bait was almost 27 pounds. And it was in a Winter League tournament I was in. And it was on a gold blade. Now, the water was dirty. The water was dirty. I left the area because the water was dirty. You need to fish the gold blade on cloudy days. You need to fish the gold blade when it's dirty or dingy. Okay? Don't rule out the gold. Don't rule out the gold. And there's lots of golds. Gold blackback, gold hologram. You know, here's a gold hologram. Rusty hooks. This one's in bad shape. This guy's out of business, actually. Gold hologram. Gold hologram. Like the Demiki. Straight gold like the Silver Buddy. What have you. Okay. Then, obviously, silver. This is probably your go-to color.
It's like the number one, I feel.
Yeah. Whether it's silver
Or like a Demiki makes one like sexy shad, like a lot of silver with a little bit of
you know, it can be a flashy silver, like a hologram silver. But you need silver and you need gold. Now, where you go from there? You know, you end up with a box like this after a long time of exposure and running into certain things that worked here and there, right? This isn't like, oh, I'm coming to the tackle shop and filling this box up. That's my primaries. Now, there's a time and a place for red. Mostly a largemouth color for me. But nonetheless, if you come across it, then it's going to find a place in your stash, and so on and so forth. But keep the colors, you know, kind of like basic
for you.
Gold and silver.
Yeah, for you Susquehanna River Smalley junkies, they make a color called bluegill in the Demiki. It's got bars on it. That is a killer smallmouth bait in river systems. Absolute killer. I don't know what it is about Demiki, but those Deminkis are really.
I'll go gold and silver.
I mean, honestly, the Silver Buddy's been like the staple for years and years, but the Demiki, that vault blade is a legit deal, and I'm telling you, it's.
I haven't found a bad one yet.
Those guys are really smashing them on those.
You know, the Demiki vault, the Silver Buddy, the Vibe.
The Vibe, yeah.
I haven't found a bad one yet. The Mega Bass. I mean, there's your gold. I just haven't found a bad one
yet. The nice thing about all these other blade baits, George, is, you know, Silver Buddy's silver and gold. That's what the staple was for years and years. What's nice about it now is all these companies are coming out with a lot of different colors, a lot of really cool colors, a lot of different stuff that you can throw color-wise, but also materials. So they're changing the materials to get different sounds, and so now you have all these options that you can throw at the fish too, just like you do in plastics, like we talked earlier with the Rage as opposed to the Subtle, Nick. You know, you got the same thing in blade baits now. You got all these, you got lots of choices and lots of opportunities to try different stuff.
I'll take a Silver Buddy.
And speaking about choices, guys, like, you know, 1/2 ounce, 3/8. When are you throwing, you know, 1/4 ounce? When are you throwing these different sizes?
Well, for example, here's a profile difference. So here's your Silver Buddy in 1/4 and in 1/2. Okay. And that's, by the way, a fantastic question. Here's your Demiki Vault, which is a fantastic blade. Straight up fish catching blade. In quarter and in half. Huge profile differences. You know, now, there's been a lot of times, and I'll use two different examples. There's been a lot of times when I've been on the Susquehanna River in the dead of winter, 34, 35-degree water, and I've seen crystal clear water. I've seen balls of little minnows, and it's sunny out. I'm downsizing. I'm going to a 1/4 ounce right off the get-go. I don't care how deep it is. It'll get there. And conversely, there's been many days when I've been in like my favorite place to fish in the winter for big largemouth is the upper Chesapeake Bay. I love it. Those marinas and those bulkheads and those cuts and those ledges, those drop-off channel edges, they're loaded with gizzard shad. And they're like that big. I'm a 1/2 ounce all day long. I mean, I just want that bigger size. I want that bigger view. And just get over that. The big thing for me is that I could pass on to anybody 1/4 and half, silver and gold. And then expand out from there. As time and expertise, you get exposed to it. Your buddy comes in and says, man, I freaking kicked their ass on a perch color. Well, that's what happened to me, and I went out and got 2 perch colored. Probably 2 left. Right? Very rarely do I throw them, but there was a time. Right? So color, somewhat important. Size, somewhat important. The biggest thing is that delivery. You got to be alert. You've got to visualize that bait.
Amen.
Yeah.
It's hard to do.
Now, another thing that's going to happen to you on the blade bait that's frustrating, particularly if you reel it in quickly, it has a way of wrapping around your line. Just reel it up about that far from your rod tip. Bounce your hand on the back of the rod, right in front of the reel. It'll untangle itself every time. Like a crankbait that's foul hooked.
Yeah. It does. The hook flips up on their line. It does happen a lot.
Now.
Is that on a reel back, you think? Or is that on the...
It's on a fast reel back.
Is it?
Yep. Now. Different brands, different vibes, different sounds. Yes, that's all comes into play. Don't put a lot of like, I only have, Demikis and I only have silver buddies. Great. Throw them. You're going to catch fish.
Yeah.
But I've literally been outfished by people fishing the Jackal blade with the circuit board body. I don't know. Was it that, or were they just better than me? I don't know. In other words, my point is, buy whatever you're comfortable with. Most of the time, you're going to have your presentation will trump the other factors most of the time. Yep. There will be that day where your buddy pounds you on a perch color, right? And you did everything right. And he gave you a perch color and you started catching them. Okay, you're going to go add that to your box.
Yeah.
So on and so forth. Same thing with chartreuse, right? Once in a blue moon, that bad boy right there has made a difference. I guess the bottom line is focus on the mechanics.
Yeah, I think you gotta, if you're gonna take up, and really want to learn this, really learn that how to fish it, and then all this other stuff you can add to it later. But silver and gold, and just learn how to really fish it, and have a lot more patience than I do.
Focus on the mechanics,
because that's what it takes. A lot of patience.
And don't forget that little trick was snipping that hook off.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
If you're in a snaggy environment, don't forget that.
Yeah, you need to be able to do that. Don't worry, you're gonna get stuck.
Other than that,
you're gonna catch them.
It's not a hard bait to fish at all.
What are you trying to say?
You just have to believe it.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's great information. It was a great show tonight. I tell you, that was fun. I'm glad we got it in on Wednesday night. Thank you everybody for stopping in on Wednesday night. Last minute, we weren't going to do it this week actually, and it was like George was like, "Man, we can't not do this show 2 weeks in a row. People are going to go ape shit," and he was right. So we did what we had to do. And Nick, thanks, buddy, for coming down.
Yep.
Last minute, kind of dropped it on Nick, and cameraman Nick's been came down here and made it happen. And you guys, thank you so much for stopping in. Don't forget, like and share our on Facebook and YouTube. That really means a lot to us too, because we're trying to make it happen. We're trying to do the right thing here. We're trying to have a good time with everybody, and that's important. SummerSlam, we have a date. We have a date for SummerSlam. Miles, a couple people have been asking me here lately because they're trying to get vacation times in. May the 17th, which is a Sunday. May the 17th is, I think that's right, George. For some reason,
No, it's definitely right.
I'm thinking.
You can check it though.
I'm gonna double check that date real quick here.
It's May the 17th.
Hang on here. May the 17th is a Saturday, George.
Is it?
Yes, it is. It's May the 18th. I knew that.
We're going to go in 2026 this year.
Oh, yeah, 2026. May the 17th. That's right. May the 17th.
Oh my God.
I knew it was weird. I thought I saw something earlier today. May the 17th is SummerSlam. So if anybody needs to get their vacation that's a weekend you want to take off. We're excited about it. We got it all worked out. You're fired up for that. Of course, you know what that is. That's the greatest, biggest tournament in the Northeast, and you don't want to miss it. So you got to make sure you get your vacation in for that. So that's a big deal. But anyway, thank you. We'll be back next week, Thursday night. We'll be back for another great show, and we'll catch you at the next Tackle Shop Live.
I met you on a sunny day. Right there, you took my breath away. A young and pretty, was it just a dream? The next day, you called me up. You told me I'm your little buttercup. You came over and you fell into my arms.
Hey, Chuck Rife, how are you, buddy?
I know what I feel.
Good to see you, man.
Please tell me your love is real.
Great crew.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I am down or when I am blue, I can't get enough.
Yeah.